To understand the man who stood behind the gun on December 7th, we have to go back to the red dirt of Waco, Texas. Born in 1919, Doris Miller was the son of sharecroppers. He grew up in a world where the color of your skin determined where you could sit, where you could eat, and what you could dream. Doris was a standout football player and a crack shot with a rifle, hunting to put food on his family's table. But in the 1930s, for a young black man in the South, hero wasn't a job description available to him. When he joined the Navy in 1939, it wasn't for glory. It was to see the world and earn a steady wage to send home. But the Navy he entered was a reflection of a segregated America. Black sailors were relegated to the messman branch. They were the ghosts of the ship, cleaning toilets, shining shoes of white officers, and cooking meals. They were given no combat training. The Navy's official stance was that black men didn't have the mechanical aptitude to operate complex weaponry. Doris Miller was about to prove them dead wrong. By late 1941, Doris was stationed on the USS West Virginia, a Colorado-class battleship, the pride of the Pacific. On the morning of December 7th, Wee V, as her crew called her, lay peacefully in Battleship Row. Doris had risen at 6 a.m. He had already served breakfast and was collecting laundry from the officers' quarters. The air was tropical and still. Nobody noticed the swarm of 353 Japanese planes approaching from the north. At 7:48 a.m., the peace was shattered. The first wave of Japanese torpedo bombers dived. 7 torpedoes ripped into the port side of the West Virginia. The massive ship groaned as thousands of tons of seawater rushed in. Doris was below decks when the first explosion threw him against a bulkhead. The lights flickered and died. In the pitch black, amidst the smell of fuel oil and twisted metal, the cook didn't panic. He began to move toward the chaos. Doris reached the deck to find a vision of hell. The USS Arizona nearby had just exploded. The sky was black with oily smoke. Doris was ordered to the bridge. His job was to find the captain. He found Captain Mervyn Bennion nearly disemboweled by shrapnel, holding his stomach together with his hands. Despite the fire leaping up from the deck below, Doris, standing 6'3" and weighing over 200 pounds, picked up the captain as if he were a child and moved him to a place of relative safety behind the conning tower. While tending to the captain, Doris noticed 2.50 caliber Browning machine guns sitting idle. Their crews were dead or wounded. He had never been taught to aim them. He had never been shown how to clear a jam. But Doris Miller knew how to hunt. He stepped behind the dual-mount gun. He felt the heavy steel in his hands, a weapon the Navy said he wasn't smart enough to use. He pulled the charging handle, sighted a diving Japanese Val bomber, and opened fire. For the next 15 minutes, Doris Miller was a one-man army. He wasn't just spraying and praying, he was lead tracking. He watched the tracers and adjusted his aim, lead pouring into the Japanese planes as they roared past at 200 miles per hour. He later recalled, "It wasn't hard. I just pulled the trigger and she worked fine." Witnesses on the deck below watched in awe as the cook shredded the wing of a Zero, sending it spiraling into the oily waters of the harbor. Doris didn't stop until he ran out of ammunition. Only when the order "abandon ship" was given did he leave his post. But even then, his work wasn't done. He spent the next hour in the burning water of the harbor, swimming through flaming oil to pull his shipmates to safety. He saved men who, just the day before, wouldn't have been allowed to sit at the same table as him. The kitchen hero had become the savior of Pearl Harbor. The aftermath was a bitter victory. The Navy Cross was pinned to his chest by Admiral Nimitz, a historic first. But the fame didn't change the law. After a brief tour to sell war bonds, Doris was sent back to the galley. He was sent back to the apron. In 1943, he was on the USS Liscombe Bay when a Japanese torpedo struck the bomb magazine. The ship vanished in a pillar of fire. Doris Miller was lost to the Pacific. But his story didn't sink with him. It forced the Navy to finally integrate. It forced America to look in the mirror. Today, the ultimate honor has been paid. The newest Ford-class aircraft carrier, the most powerful ship on Earth, is named the USS Doris Miller, a ship designed for battle, named after a man who was told he had no place in it. Doris Miller proved that bravery is the ultimate equalizer. He went into the fire as a cook, and he emerged as an eternal legend of the United States Navy.